It's JJ at News and Clips time. I've got an absolute banger for you. Okay, well, Candace Owens does. The time has come. Today, Candace Owens responds to Blake Neff from the Charlie Kirk Show, where he is finally inviting Candace onto the show to ask all the questions that the entire world has been wanting to know. Watch some of this clip to see how it unfolded, and I imagine Candace Owens is ecstatic getting to watch this news drop. Tell me your thoughts at the end of the show. Now let's get into it.
Candace has mentioned several times that the ball is in our court. So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix. At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court. Our motivation for doing this is not out of any obligation to Candace. It is about honoring Charlie. We feel a deep responsibility to protect his legacy, his work, and the truth. I feel that. I owe Charlie everything in my life.
See how weird that response was? It's the first time he said something that he actually believed and was his own words.
I feel it immensely. And that is why we feel compelled to speak clearly and openly now. We'll have more on this in the near future.
Yay! Yay! Finally, you didn't have to get through all that shade that you were throwing me to get to the point that you were willing to answer questions, okay? Because that's what Charlie did for a living. How could you guys think that you were just going to continue on and pretend like people asking meaningful questions was somehow an attack? That's what he did for a living. He stood up on college campuses and he debated people. And that's why the people believe in me and they trust me, because they feel that I'm the only one that's acting right in the situation. Who wouldn't want to have every stone unturned if they cared about somebody? Who wouldn't want to have every question answered? Who wouldn't be immediately suspicious to see Egyptian military jets? Who wouldn't go, why the hell were these jets around Turning Point way before, years before Charlie's assassination? Who is on these jets? Instead, you're mentioning the Egyptian planes for the fourth time. So I would like to recommit everybody that is watching this to figuring out what the hell's going on with these Egyptian planes, because they're nervous about them, okay? They're mentioned so many times. They're trying to give the vibe that this is so crazy, to questions that you have that are meaningful, because we just think it's so stupid that you would suggest that the feds are involved in an assassination. That's never happened in American history. What? So that's a ridiculous thing.
We have received hundreds, thousands, I suspect, emails and calls asking us to respond.
Yeah.
People have wanted us to invite Candace on the show. But for a long time, our approach was to say nothing. We did that for several reasons.
You pretend like you are too aggrieved to be able to answer the questions makes entirely no sense. Obviously, if you were actually under a real amount of stress, if you actually were deeply upset that people had you on a list of suspects or thought that you were suspicious, you would just clarify things instantly, immediately. It's so easy. It's free. If someone said, Candace, what were you doing when Charlie Kirk was shot? I'd be like, I was sitting down at my table prepping my show. Like, the question doesn't offend me because I had nothing to do with Charlie dying, okay? This is a psychological technique that is failing. It is failing for you. And you're upset because you thought that with time, with the passage of time, people would let the story go, and they didn't. And these reasons that he's about to list for why they didn't respond and answer any questions are beyond ridiculous.
Trust me, there's a lot more to Candace's show today. I urge you to go check it out. But I'd love to hear what you think about this news of that we're going to get to see the pressure put on Turning Point USA and answering the most basic of questions that Candace has been unfolding throughout this entire time. It's not a problem to ask questions. Tell me your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Check me out at News and Clips Time and at News and Clips on all social media. See you next time.